Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hot Jobs at Higher Military. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have some really incredible opportunities to share with all of you today, including an opportunity to join our team here at Higher Military. I know we are really excited to share that with you and hope that it could be a great next career move for one of you out there. As always, if you're a transitioning service member, veteran, or military spouse, tell us where you're watching from. We really love learning more about our community through these LinkedIn Lives, and it's always great to see where everyone is tuning in from. And if it's your first time with us here today, please let us know. We love seeing first-time viewers, as well as having veterans, people that have tuned in regularly with us today as well. So if you're a first-time viewer or you've been watching for the last, 6-7 months, let us know. It's always great to see who we have here in the audience. We have Brandy Walker, our ScaleBridge recruiter, there in the chat. So please say hi to Brandy. She's going to be sharing links and other helpful information as we go along here. So make sure to give Brandy some love there in the chats. And as always, we are just so excited to be with you all today. Here at the recruiting team at Higher Military, we've adopted kind of a new slogan for the year: New Year, New Career. And we are so excited to help assist as many of you as we humanly can find a new career this year. So as you are introducing yourself, if you can just share a little bit more about what you're looking for, if there's certain industries, certain job titles, if you're looking for part-time, full-time, or if you're a transitioning service member and are available for a ScaleBridge internship, please let us know that information. It really helps us to get to know you more just by learning about you. So I see people logging on: Jeffrey, David, Tracy, welcome. Lorenzo, first time, welcome. Charity from Iowa. Hello from Las Vegas. Mike Quinn, our CEO, was in Las Vegas last week. So great to see all of you. So please keep introducing yourself in the chats there. It's always great to get to know you all just from what you're sharing about yourself. So while everyone is introducing themselves in the chats, we'll take a couple minutes to introduce ourselves to you all. I am Kate Wood. I'm a recruiter here at Higher Military. I'm an Army veteran and currently a military spouse. My husband is still on active duty, and we are stationed here in Northwest Florida at Eglin Air Force Base. So happy to be here with all of you today. And next up, Lucy. Lucy, welcome.
Hi. Well, I'm in the total catty corner of the US to you, Kate. I am talking to you this morning from Fairbanks, Alaska. If you don't know where that is, that's probably because you've never been there, and you're probably never going to go either. As you can tell, I am not originally from the US. I am London born and bred by way of lots of different US Air Force installations across Europe and the US. And we are currently here now, hopefully for our last assignment with the Air Force at Eielson Air Force Base. Amber, how about you?
Hello. I am Amber Flores. I am an Air Force veteran. My husband's still active duty Air Force. We are in San Antonio, and I see lots of Texas people and also lots of people tuning in the comments that are regulars. We really appreciate the support, you guys.
Yeah, it's so great to see everyone. And I think Brandy just dropped our LinkedIn, links to our LinkedIn in the chats there. So please, aside from just connecting here every week with you, please legitimately connect with us on LinkedIn. Follow us as well. We love being able to join your professional network and follow along in your career journey as well. So connect with us there via those links in the chats. Thank you so much, Brandy. And Lucy and Amber, so great to have you on today. Really excited to hear about the opportunities we all have to share today. So if you've tuned in recently to a broadcast that we've done, I think we started this back in maybe December. We've been taking the last maybe 5 to 10 minutes of our broadcast to answer job search related questions, as well as provide some tips, tricks, and advice from our recruiting team that can help enable you to have a successful job search. So as we go along today, please drop any questions you have, whether it's resumes, cover letters, LinkedIn profiles, anything related to job searching, or if you're a transitioning service member, if there's specific questions you have about ScaleBridge internships, drop those questions into the chats. We take, like I mentioned, the last 5 to 10 minutes just to try to answer as many of your questions as we can. It's just a way that we feel like we can provide value back to you, our community here. And really, we want to enable you to have the best possible career search or transition from the military. And so hopefully answering some of those questions will help you and provide value to you as well. So as we go along here, just drop those questions in the chats. We'll make sure to keep note of them as we go and try to answer them at the end. All right, now back to hot jobs, what we're all here for today. As we share roles, just as a reminder, if you're interested in any of our open opportunities, you can just drop the title of that role into the chats. Like I mentioned, Brandy is going to be on trying to give you direct links to those roles so you can see the position descriptions and where you can apply. But you can even just type the role, title of the role in the chat, and we'll be able to reach out to you directly to provide more information. All right, so let's get into it. That is more than enough for me for right now. So Lucy, you have a really exciting opportunity to share that's actually on our team here at Higher Military.
I do. So not necessarily on our team, Kate, but kind of working with us on a daily basis. Yeah. So kind of like pseudo on our team. As Higher Military is growing into 2022, we are working with a lot more corporate partners, clients, employers across the US. And as a consequence, we are looking to expand the account management team. So they're the ones that work with us on a daily basis in terms of relationship management and business development with our corporate partners. And we are recruiting a senior account manager. Now, I will be honest, this position is probably better placed for a veteran or a spouse rather than a transitioning service member, because we are looking for at least 3 to 5 years of corporate account management experience. But the role is remote. You can be in any time zone across the US, working from home, and you have the benefit of working with us generally on a daily basis. So we're really excited to publish that one today.
Yes, this is hot off the press. It is live on our careers page. I believe Brandy's going to drop that link in the chats. If you have an interest in this role, again, you can just type senior account manager into the chats. I know Lucy, myself, Amber are more than happy to answer any questions that you might have. Additionally, if there's someone that isn't on this broadcast today, but you feel like would be a great fit for this senior account manager role, any others, please tag them in the chats. This is recorded and they can come back and watch this at any time. So just tag anyone you might know in the chats as well, and we'd be happy to provide more information for them about the senior account manager role that is 100% remote here at Higher Military Tennova. So thank you. Yep, Brandy just dropped it right there into the chat. So if you want to go look into that full position description as well as the direct link to apply, you can just click right there. And Amber, you have some really incredible roles to share with us today.
I do, Kate. Yeah, the first one I'm going to start with is a web developer position. This is a completely remote role. This web developer will support that full software development lifecycle. So some knowledge of CSS, of JavaScript, and HTML are necessary, ideally with 3 to 5 years of industry experience. This is a contract to hire role, and our client is really doing some cool things, and they're dedicated to safely and efficiently providing support and logistical services, in their words, anytime and anywhere. So it's pretty exciting. That's a web developer remote role.
That's fantastic. Love seeing those remote roles, learning a little bit more about the company, who they are, and what they do. That's great. And you have another remote role available.
I sure do. Yeah. The next one I have is a NetSuite administrator position, and this is remote, and it'll support and optimize our client's NetSuite product in a full-time capacity, of course, remotely. This is especially exciting, though, because in this role, there's an opportunity to kind of dive into some different business lanes, which I think is really exciting. So some of those day-to-day finance, those operations, and even sales potentially. So this NetSuite administrator position is a contract to hire, and it is remote.
Great. Thank you so much for that. Again, those are two remote IT-focused roles, the web developer, NetSuite administrator. If you're interested in either one of those roles, you can type in the chats. I know Brandy has dropped the links in there as well. And Amber, you have a couple other roles for us. The next one being in Lansing, Michigan.
Yeah, Kate, this one is actually really exciting. We just partnered with a client in Lansing. They are really truly a worldwide leader in research and development. They're dedicated to changing the world by developing medical isotopes that treat and eradicate cancer. So they're doing some really great things. As a startup, though, they've grown really quite a bit in the scientific and technical expertise from world-class universities, from national laboratories, and now they've reached out to us as they are really interested in growing their military demographic on their team. And so there's several senior project engineer positions available. They include chemist, chemical engineering, electrical engineering, as well as mechanical engineering, and they're looking for those committed team players that have a bachelor's degree, preferably some experience in research and development. Another nice little bit to know is they are willing to talk about relocation, which I think is really, really important for our community.
Yes, absolutely. And I think, like you mentioned, Amber, when we first spoke with this company, their mission that they have and what they're doing, obviously, it has such a wide ranging impact. I mean, they are really at the forefront of cancer treatment. And wow, to be a part of a team that is just really making a huge impact on people's lives, aside from being really great career opportunities, just a fantastic thing. And that the relocation obviously is a plus as well. So again, there's multiple opportunities for this company. They can be seen as senior project engineers listed on our careers page. So definitely check that out if you have experience and qualifications that meet that, or just looking to learn more about that company and those opportunities. And Brandy has dropped those into the chats as well. So thank you. And your last role is a SEMA instructor.
Yeah, I'm just briefly going to touch on this one, but if you are a SEMA instructor, or if you know one that is transitioning soon and looking to jump into the SEMA instructor position, please reach out to me. I would love to share a little bit more detail and kind of talk some more detail specifically with this instructor position in Fort Gordon.
Great. Thank you so much. I know we have people coming straight out of the military that could run right into that role. So thank you so much again. Amber has mentioned the SEMA instructor, senior project engineers, NetSuite administrator, and web developer roles. So if you are interested in any of those, or you know someone who might be a fit, you can just type any of those job titles into the chats. We'll be able to reach out to you directly following this broadcast. And Brandy has dropped the links to those position descriptions in the chats as well. So you can click on those directly, go read more about the positions, and apply directly from those links. So thank you so much. And just as a reminder, again, if you're just tuning in, we do offer some resume tips, tricks, and tips at the end of this broadcast. So if there's any job search related questions that you have, please drop those in the chats. We'll try to answer them at the end of this broadcast. So next up, I have a couple roles to share. The first being a director of business development. This is a 100% remote role. We are recruiting for this role to lead the efforts of a fast-growing federal and DoD-focused contractor. Our client is a rapidly growing family of companies with multiple 8A certified operating entities, and they really have a solid track record of excellent performance in the areas of professional services, IT, and staff augmentation. So we are looking for someone that has had a solid career managing business development across, federal contracting and DoD-focused entities. Ideally, this person also has 4 years of recent experience at one or more of Alaska Native Corporation-owned entities. If you've worked with one of those companies before, you know exactly what that experience looks like. And again, this is a 100% remote opportunity. So really great for our veterans that have specific business development experience. If you're interested in this role, you can just type Director of Business Development into the chats, and I will reach out to you specifically about that role if you have any questions or want to learn more. I also have a business development representative. As you can see, I have a little theme going on here today with biz dev roles. This specific opportunity is in the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area. We're recruiting for this for a company that is actually veteran owned. They're a fantastic national brand, very successful, growing across the nation, and they're really looking for someone to step in and help out there in the business development aspect there at their Dallas-Fort Worth location. Again, they're veteran owned. They're a small business, but they are rapidly growing, and they are an industry leader in providing modular space solutions, including mobile offices, modular buildings, and design build services as well. So this position, they're really looking for someone that has direct sales experience. It doesn't have to be in their specific industry. If you've been successful in a direct sales role across any industry, they really look forward to looking and speaking with you. Again, they're a veteran-owned business, so they really value the experience and leadership that our veterans, military spouses, transitioning service members could bring to their company. And again, this is a position in the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area. So if you want more information about any of the roles that we've mentioned, you can type that specific title into the chats. Brandy has also been dropping the direct links to these roles in the chats as well. So you can click right on over to read the full position descriptions as well as apply right at that link. So thank you so much, Brandy, for providing those links in the chats. Thank you, Amber, for sharing roles. And again, we're just happy to provide more information about any of these roles that you have. So you can drop those into the chats or connect with us directly. So as we mentioned, we spend the last 5 to 10 minutes here of our broadcast just sharing tips, tricks, and advice for you in your job search process. So Lucy, I know you have some really great topics to share with us today.
We do. We have some great topics. And also I've jotted down a couple of the questions that people have asked during this show as well. But before I start, I want to give a shout out to Trevor in Nevada. We've been talking this week and he said hello. So I'm saying hi back. Hey, Trevor. So I was talking to somebody after our LinkedIn Live last week, and he specifically said a lot of his co-workers and his friends have been headhunted via LinkedIn, and he's never had one bite at all. He's never had anybody reach out at all through LinkedIn to try and executively search him. And he wanted to know where he was going wrong and what tips or tricks I could share. And I guess the first thing I said to him was, you really need to optimize your LinkedIn profile so that, think about it from our perspective. When we are on the back end of LinkedIn that you guys probably have never seen, there's a search function and it asks 1,000 questions so we can narrow down location, job title, specific certs, qualifications. All of these are otherwise known as your keywords, everything that is needed for us to look for the perfect unicorn candidate that we often look for. Kate and Amber, we do this every day, don't we, when we are headhunting candidates. And you really need to make sure that your LinkedIn profile includes all of those. It cannot be a jack of all trades LinkedIn profile. If you are looking specifically to be seen by people out there for jobs that they are hunting for, and recruiters at the moment are all over LinkedIn. This is, the great resignation, so many jobs available and really key strategic corporate career type positions. You need to work out exactly where you need to be, what you want to do, how you are positioning yourselves. Look at job descriptions of these types of roles and make sure every single keyword and phrase is incorporated in your LinkedIn profile. Now, it doesn't quite work for those who perhaps have got sort of 5 or 6 different areas of interest, but you can still optimize it in a way that you could be seen, but perhaps not in the first 10 of candidates that come up in the search, maybe in the first 50 or so. But it definitely is worthwhile if that is something that you are hoping to achieve and you want to be noticed in that respect. It's worth going through and really rehashing, going over your LinkedIn profile and making sure that you've bulked it out as much as possible, fleshed it out with all of the accompanying information that does not sit on your resume. Your LinkedIn profile is not your resume. We talk about targeting resumes when you apply for positions. Your LinkedIn profile can incorporate everything you've done to include volunteer experience and internships as well. So make sure that you have put as much information on there as possible and you really are optimizing it for an external person to come and find you. I mean, Kate, what do you think?
I think you're spot on there, Lucy. And I think it's a great point that, there's multiple areas of a LinkedIn profile. There's your name, your headline, there's your about section, then there's your experience section, there's certifications. Really utilize all those different areas to just showcase different aspects of who you are, what you've done professionally. And also another tidbit as well. And I know we mention this often. We talk about, checking your spam in your email, checking your LinkedIn DMs. A lot of recruiters have to reach out via an in-mail, which can sometimes come across looking spammy, but look into those. I mean, that's how we have to reach out. If we're not your first or second connection, it's going to come through looking a little different than a normal DM. Read them, right? Like, it doesn't hurt you just to read it and see if that's an opportunity of interest to you. And then, like you mentioned, I think it's just, really optimizing, looking at those keywords, looking at those key certifications, making sure that they're there. We can't find you. We can't search for you if you don't have it somewhere in your profile. So that's a great piece of advice. And Amber, I know that, you've been reaching out via recruiter on LinkedIn as well. What have you found to be a challenge in finding candidates via LinkedIn?
Oh, a challenge in finding candidates. I think that's a really good question. First, what are you guys' thoughts on a profile picture? Because if somebody doesn't have a profile picture and it's just a little gray blob, I'm really inclined to just keep on, right?
Yep.
What about you guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, that's my first challenge is just finding people that really have utilized the small snippet that we can see on our end to the best of their ability.
Yeah,
I think that's.
Oh, sorry, Kate.
Sorry. I was going to say, and also there's different ways that you can choose to have people first be able to connect with you. You can put follow or connect or message. Make sure that connect is the first thing that you're allowing people to choose. Because if we see you pop up, we can highlight over your name and you can easily connect, right? So that allows you to add us into our network of connections. Like Amber mentioned, it's so key to make yourself approachable, right? Putting a profile picture in is the best way just to give someone an insight into who you are. So definitely having a good profile picture or just making your LinkedIn public as well so that recruiters can reach out to you or people can connect easily. That's such a great piece of advice, Amber.
And Sean has just put that his LinkedIn profile is awful. Sean, you are not the only one. We see awful profiles every single day. We just don't say anything about it. But what we really encourage and suggest you do is follow our CEO. His name is Michael Quinn. He has a great post and it's in one of his pinned ones at the top, how to create the best LinkedIn profile within your ability and your scope. So definitely seek that out.
Absolutely.
I think he calls it the LinkedIn cheat sheet. Also, just if you're looking at it, it's the LinkedIn cheat sheet.
Yes. Yeah, it is. And I know that because Amber sent it to me before I'd even heard of Mike Quinn, before I even came and worked for this company. She was aware of him before I was. So the second question, talking about the past, is somebody came over to me last week and said, hey, you know what? I really need some help with resume writing assistance. He said that when he was in the military, he thought that he was a decent writer, when it came to evals and everything else. But now that he's out, he really feels like he's in the Stone Ages. And I feel like so many people are there. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I get hundreds of messages each week asking for my help, for tips, for advice, for support. But we are only one person. So because of that, because we don't have the capacity to help everybody that reaches out to us, and we really genuinely want to, we have done two things. First of all, we have connected with, in a strategic partnership with mine and Amber's old employer. We really encourage you to reach out to them. They are called Vet Jobs. We can drop a link in a second. It's www.vetjobs.org. Or I think Brandy's going to drop their LinkedIn profile to them as well. This is what they do. They are career counselors for our military demographic. So they support you in the resume writing piece, the interview prep piece, and equally, and very important, Michael asked earlier about how to write a resume for USA jobs. They can give you templates and really help you design and craft a federal resume for USA jobs as well, which looks very different to a civilian resume. So that's the first thing that we've done to counter the issue that we're having in terms of the traffic coming through to us. The second thing is next week at 1 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday, our team is holding a very small resume workshop. We will be inviting about 10 to 12 people to come and join us. It's an hour where we can spend that one-on-one time with you and we can share our top tips and tricks. We have a document entitled Formula for Targeting a Resume, which is great and all, but what we're planning to do is deliver that so that we bring that to life, so that we can teach you how to do it, not just for a role that you may be working on with us, but for all roles that you will be applying for going forward. So how to access that? It is a very small cohort that we will be working with first of all, because we're still ironing out the wrinkles. We know the content, we've just never done it in this format before. So there is an email address. I don't know if the link is coming up in a second, but if it isn't, I will ask Brandy to stick it in the comments in a second. It is hiremilitaryjobs@tenovallc.com. And we will just take the first 10 people that connect with us through that, and we will send you invites. So if that is something of interest to you, definitely do that now. It's hiremilitaryjobs@tenovallc.com.
Thank you so much, Lucy. And again, that's just a really great opportunity for you to have some one-on-one time with Amber, Lucy, myself, Brandy. We're just really hoping to provide another avenue of value. Like Lucy mentioned, we have so many people reaching out to us wanting resume advice, and we would love to be able to spend one-on-one time with each of you. But aside from filling roles, this is another opportunity for us just to get some face time. Again, it's a small cohort, maybe about 10 people. So definitely reach out to that email, hiremilitaryjobs@tenovallc.com. Just sharing that you're interested in the resume workshop that we'll be doing next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And we're hoping to do that on somewhat of a regular basis. We'll see how successful the first one is. And Hopefully it provides value out to your community, but definitely look to that as being an opportunity to just connect and get advice on resumes as well. Thank you, Brandy, for putting that in the chats there. And I saw that we did have a question come in about what about on our end for reaching out to people on LinkedIn? What should that initial message to someone in the industry I'm interested in look like? Or how should I address or approach someone? So this kind of goes to that topic of, digital networking, conducting informational interviews. There is some etiquette, I think, around, whether or not you're reaching out to someone to gain more advice, or are your intentions to see if they have open roles for you. So Lucy, I guess, what's your advice surrounding how to kind of reach out to people for that first, informational interview, or if they have, open roles that could be a fit for someone? What's some of the etiquette surrounding that?
Good question. I'd rather you went to Amber for this one. I'll answer it.
Well, she can provide insights.
And also, before I do answer, I'm just going to give another shout out to my very, very good friend who I actually made through this whole, LinkedIn hire military relationship. Jason, I see you're out there. Hi. I'm glad that you are not on the ski slopes this week, that you've actually started your internship this week. But that's a really good question. My first thing is keep it short. Nobody wants to read an essay. Like, literally, if somebody has an ask of me, I love it when it's contained within 2 sentences, literally. So what I would suggest you do is think about what your ask is. Make sure that it is crystal clear, and make sure that it's not a big ask. You are not asking them to send you a link of all of their existing career opportunities, because literally, if somebody said that to me, I'd say, hey, you're as capable as I am of looking at our career page. Take a look yourself. Equally, what I would suggest is giving a very short one-liner synopsis of who you are, why you are connecting, and what you are hoping to achieve. It could be, so for example, hey, I'm Lucy Robinson. I have worked in the talent acquisition and recruiting space for 20 years, but I most recently have been in the military demographic space, and I'm really looking to transition into tech recruiting. I would love to ask you a couple of questions. Do you have 5 minutes in the next week or so to have a quick telephone conversation? That's exactly how I would pitch it, because they can come back and can say yes or no. The worst messages for me, and I'll be very candid, is when my response to their essay requires an essay. I legitimately don't have time to do that, so I'll just shut it down, and I'll say to myself, oh, I'll come back to that later. And honestly, later doesn't always come. So that's how I would position it. Keep it short, have a gentle ask, but make it very directed and pointed so that they know what you're expecting from them. What about you, Kate? What do you think?
It's a fantastic response. I completely agree that the quicker the ask, the more specific the ask is, or more specific details I can get about a person, it makes it that much easier to respond in a quick, easy way, right? And I think that someone mentioned, I saw in a post recently that, LinkedIn is a tool. It's not the be all end all of job searching, right? It's a tool that we can use, and DMing people is a great way to get in touch with people. But, you have to build some rapport with someone, or you have to build some trust in order for that person to, kind of understand who you are. So engaging with their content, sharing their content, taking someone in one of their posts, if they're a recruiter and they're recruiting for a role that might not be a fit for you, taking someone that you might know, it shows that you're willing to there's that give and get in a relationship with someone in a professional setting, that you're willing to kind of reach out and do something for them too, as well as them helping and giving you advice as well. So that's a great question though, regarding kind of LinkedIn etiquette and DMing etiquette. Amber, do you have anything to add as far as kind of cold calling or reaching out to someone on LinkedIn?
I don't have anything extra to add. I just think that Lucy really nailed it though, saying, just keep it concise, because as soon as we get really lengthy messages, what happens. Maybe you read it, maybe you don't.
You say you're going to come back to it later, and it's just
yes, exactly. So keep it concise, keep it friendly, and keep it professional, of course.
And I'm really laughing at these comments. Kenneth saying a job he should be fired for, in response to Jean's comment on working on his resume feels like a full-time job. It does, but let us help you. Send us an email. Come and join our resume workshop next week.
One federal resume tip that we didn't talk about surrounding the USA Jobs resume is use the USA Jobs website. They have those events down at the bottom, and I feel like nobody knows about it, but every time I go to sign up for one, they're full. So some people are taking these events, and they're super helpful. I feel like there's really no better way to learn how to create a federal resume that's USA Jobs friendly than from USA Jobs. So check those out for sure, Michael.
And equally, Amber, Vet Jobs does regular trainings as well around this. They do it live so that you can be part of it, and then they post it so that you can watch it at a later date. And federal resume training is one of those.
That's great advice. I forgot about those workshops, but they're still happening. There's tons of free virtual workshops happening. Vet Jobs does a lot of them. Amber mentioned USA Jobs as well. So keep looking into those free resources and virtual workshops that are happening. Those are all great opportunities just to learn more, including the one we're offering next week. I've seen several people, Kenneth and Juan, have already sent the email requesting to come on. We're really excited, hopefully, to provide a lot of value to you next week in that.
And we get to meet the faces behind the names that we see often as well. So that's exciting.
Yeah, rather than us just, being up here talking heads all the time, we can hear from you as well. So, wow, thanks so much. This has been fantastic, just being able to interact with you, our audience here, answering questions. Again, if you're tuning into this later, still drop those questions into the chats. We go back after every week and just scan, see if there's any more questions related to job searching that you might have, and hopefully we can answer those at a future broadcast as well. So keep dropping those in the chats, even if you're watching this on a recording. Amber and Lucy, thank you so much today for sharing your opportunities, sharing your advice, your insights, and also for our community. If you didn't hear of anything of interest today, I saw a lot of people mentioning they're looking for specific skill bridges or specific direct hire roles. Just please visit our websites, as we have over 200 SkillBridge internships currently available and over 60 full-time permanent roles to choose from, both fully remote and on-site nationwide. So please take a look at that. Again, we're so thankful to Amber and Lucy for joining us today. And a big shout out to Brandy Walker, our SkillBridge recruiter who's been in the chats. Thank you, Brandy, for sharing all the links, interacting with our community here as we went today. We just really appreciate you as well. And we hope to provide many great opportunities for you, our military community, this year as you embark on your job search or your transition. And we really hope that Hire Military can be a part of you finding your new career this year. We will see everyone next week, Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern, for another Hot Jobs at Hire Military. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks, Kate. Take care.